Rising, Grand Rising. This is the Straight Talk Morning Show on the Straight Talk Network. My name is Andre Hill, your host. Welcome, viewers from all over Facebook and YouTube. We have a full cast on today. We got the chairman up in Detroit. Hey, chairman, how things up in Detroit?
Oh, Grand Rising, everything. Everything is pretty good. I had a chance to go to a couple June 19th parties last night, but I was so tired from working on the little project at home, I stayed at home and rest.
So you was telling us about you blowing the windows out.
Yes.
Can't tell. I can't hold water, man.
I was trying something and wasn't thinking, and you don't do things like that with machinery. So it cost me $170 to replace this window.
We.
Ooh.
And luckily I got the labor myself. It would have been more than that.
Yeah, man. All you got to do is pay for the frame and the glass, huh?
Right.
Yeah, boy. Also, down in Atlanta, Georgia, well, up from us, down from the chairman, we have Mama Kali, our wise matriarch of the UAAR Collective. How you doing this morning, Mama Kali?
I'm doing very, very well. Thank you. We have some pretty good weather, changing cloudy to sunny to cloudy. But I kind of like that because when that sun is shining here in hot Atlanta, it is very hot, very hot. And so I'm grateful. I'm thankful.
I think you logging on through your laptop. Huh?
I think now I can get off. Okay.
All right. So also, we have from West Palm Beach from Trinidad by the way of West Palm Beach, Shaz Brown. She's visiting in Tampa. She's one of the matriarch elders, and she will be assisting all of you matriarch elders that are going to join the collective. Shaz will be handling setting up the meetings on behalf of Mama Kali, Mama Lubaba, Chief Betty, Beverly Hankins. We have a council of elders, of matriarchs, that's going to be writing the blueprint to the organization, the foundation, the treatment, the nurturing, the giving of life. Welcome, Shaz Mendez. How you doing this morning, dear?
I am exquisite this morning. Thank you. I still look forward to connecting with all of the the matriarchs as soon as possible. So I'm going to get their contact information and reach out to everyone.
Okay. All right. So also we have the engineer, Juris Doctor, philosopher, astrologist, my son, Andre Jr. How you doing, man?
I'm all good. I'm all good. Peace and love. Just making sure the functions is functioning over here.
Better you than me, because I have it all upside down. Yeah, you're a blessing. So
Absolutely.
Anyway, let's get this show on the road. The video that I shot on Friday, the promo video talking about the topics or mentioning the topics for today. One of the things that I have advised the 250,000, it's going to be more than that. The 250,000 melanated women that the federal government has released into the wild without generational background. I'm a third generation entrepreneur, and it's difficult for me. First generation entrepreneurs is very difficult, and a lot of our women, as high as intelligent as you are experimenting with developing a business construct in a very hostile environment. When you intend to go into rent office space, store space from the colonizers, you're jeopardizing all your assets and your family's future. That is not the way to go. The way to go is to join this tribal union. You got to get that ego that I'm great. We know you're great. We know you have the mitochondria, the DNA that gave life to all life on this planet. Every subspecies walking around here in a humanoid type body came from your mitochondrial DNA. So you don't have anything to prove other than demonstrating by us coming together as a collective, we have access to the highest power. I'm going to talk about divine, divine I, DI versus AI, artificial intelligence, divine intelligence. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. But I'm going to play a video for you. We're going to play a video for you to get a case, a sample case of what they're doing to our melanated women, because you're brilliant, and any business that you open up, they're going to attack you. They're going to hit you with codes and violations. Hey man, whenever you're ready, go ahead and cue up that video. They're going to hit you with whatever they can to stop your success, because their program is designed for you not to succeed. I have 67 years of business experience. I know how to operate any kind of business imaginable. But every step of the way, the last magnificent business structure I put together was a 63,000 square foot plant up in Nashville, Tennessee, to ship halal and kosher foods all over the world. They immediately came in Nashville, Tennessee, and circumvented, cheated on the bidding process, anything to keep a melanated man from, or a melanated person from producing healthy foods. But go ahead, let's shoot this video, man.
I got accused of something this week that I honestly never thought I'd hear in my life. Making a restaurant too popular. Apparently, creating a place people actually enjoy being is now a lease violation. I need y'all to tell me if I'm crazy. Because after more than 10 years of building businesses in Prince George's County, I'm now being threatened with closure because people had too much fun. For those of you that don't know, I'm Monique Rose. For over a decade, I've built businesses in this community. Milk and Honey, Catch 22, Milk and Cheese, The Real Milk and Honey, and now Lacage. Through Monique Rose Management, I've also helped businesses across the DMV open, scale, and thrive. I've created jobs, partnered with local vendors, invested in neighborhoods, and built spaces where people could gather, laugh, celebrate, network, and simply enjoy life. So imagine my surprise when I learned that a brand I created and a business I helped build is facing efforts to force it out because people enjoy being there. Recently, we've been receiving repeated accusations regarding people gathering in the common areas surrounding the restaurant. But here's the problem. Those people aren't being directed by us. They aren't being seated by us. They aren't even our customers. They're simply members of the community enjoying a sense of community. And from what I've personally witnessed, no fights, no property damage, no chaos, just people enjoying themselves. Let that sink in. Not because of crime, not because of violence, not because of damage, because people showed up. People that look like you and me. And somehow that's become our fault. According to the landlord and his attorney, it's even become a default of our lease. Meanwhile, Lacage has a valid entertainment license. We've never received a noise citation, and we've operated responsibly from day one. What's even crazier is that some of these community gatherings have happened when we didn't even have a band, on days that we weren't even open, yet we are to blame. And it hasn't stopped there. Police have been sent to the restaurant. Attorney letters have been sent demanding that we immediately surrender the property. Complaints have now been made regarding our entertainment and even our DJ. And at this point, I guess I'm supposed to tell grown adults not to dance when their favorite song comes on. If Boots on the Ground comes on, am I supposed to make an announcement and ask everybody there to just remain seated, right? I'm joking, but like only a little bit, because that's what makes this all so frustrating. We're talking about people eating, dancing, laughing, celebrating birthdays, and enjoying themselves in a restaurant that is properly licensed to provide entertainment. Not criminal activity, not violence, not property destruction, people simply enjoying themselves. And every time another complaint is made, another accusation is thrown out, or another agency gets contacted, it creates one more obstacle for a small business, its employees, and the customers who support it. This is already challenging for me. That's why I'm sharing this. Not because I want sympathy. I don't need that. Because I believe the community deserves to know what's happening. So how exactly are we controlling something we don't control? We don't own the parking lot. We don't manage the parking lot. We don't direct people into the parking lot. They just like the vibe. And if we're being honest, creating places people want to be is actually what the good businesses are supposed to do. Matter of fact, if I own the plaza, I'd be asking how we could create more of it. I be talking about Juneteenth celebrations, community vendor days, family events, anything I could do, ways to bring more people to Restaurant Row. Because when I see people gathering, I don't think about how to get rid of them. I think about how to serve them. The only thing we're guilty of is creating something people enjoy. That's it. And last time I checked, great marketing was not a crime. And it definitely isn't a lease violation. So today, I'm not asking for your money. I'm not asking you to buy anything from me. I'm simply asking for your support. If you've ever supported me, supported one of my businesses, or believed in what we are trying to build in this community with Lakaj Seafood, please sign the petition link below and share this video.
All right, so this is over and over again, and I've experienced this. I know Mama Kali, also Shaz, but we're going to get to take not just my opinion. Mama Kali, what do you think about this? So I lived in DC in the PG County area, and it's heavily populated with melanated people, and they're still attacking them. What's your thoughts?
It's very typical. My take will be a little different. What I see is, an over-aggressive police and, grand marshal, county servants all they want all melanated people out, period. They're still trying to get rid of us. So what you need to do, and your customers, if you can get them on this line of understanding, declare the property indigenous. You can do that by filing papers yourself, because your lawyer doesn't represent you. I don't care how much you pay them. They don't represent you. They represent the Crown of England. Now, we're in the process now of becoming a republic. Okay? So it's sort of like the Crown of England has kind of stepped aside a little bit, but not completely. You saw what the Prince Charles, or whatever his name is, come over here and acquiesce. Well, he had to, because the property, all of this property belongs to us. In the area where you are, it is very likely Lenape territory. Lenape. Okay, they were in that area between Maryland shoreline all the way over to Jersey. And they're a powerful melanated tribe. Now you can submit papers yourself, not that agent, British Attorneys Registry, the Bar Association, that is British Attorney Registry. Okay, so he works for the Crown. Esquire, whatever, they're illegal in the Republic. But the Republic is still trying to come in, because most people don't know. They don't even know that all of our land has to be returned to us. The contract is over.
Amen.
Okay? So I know if this is your first time hearing this, I think Lamont is up there in that area. Lamont, here's what I can probably put you in touch with Lamont Bay. He's the chairman of something up there. So if you can just do a little research, see how you can get in touch. And I would rather direct you to someone I know that's not going to actually try to take advantage of you, because we do have a whole lot of dirty Moors out there for your money,
Yeah, man.
right? And so I'm going to I'm going to check with some people I know to see how I can get in touch with Lamont. He's up there in Maryland. But like I said, if you get a hold of the correct papers, you can fill those papers out and submit them into the county clerk's office, declaring whatever that whole section is as indigenous territory. Okay?
So,
Other than that, forget it. Other than that, forget it. It won't happen.
Absolutely. So, and a lot of others, Mama Kali is right outside of Atlanta. She has some prime real estate, up to 7 acres. And if you have a business plan, we will develop a business plan and come up with a negotiable, leasable contract for you to develop your Aboriginal indigenous business. Stop trying to deal with these cockers or these people, these demons that think that they're going to hold on to your land. But anyway, we just go to uaaranation.org, leave a message that you're interested in developing your business. We can get you started right there on Mama Kali land. We need infrastructure money. The banks here in the U.S., they're going to be very apprehensive to granting us money, because they know that we're here to initiate the paradigm shift by reclaiming our land. So we need leverage from within our own. Stop taking money. If you got retirement money, if you got settlement money or whatever, you're investing in and going into their businesses, you're gonna lose. You will lose. Even if you are successful and come up with a successful marketing plan, you're gonna lose. Okay, also we got Shaz on. Shaz is a lifetime entrepreneur. She's a expert hairologist. Shaz, what's your experience with our women going through these trials and tribulations?
Okay, I have my own experiences as well. I remember back in 1993, I was opening one of my salons in the city of North Miami Beach. And that may have been probably my 3rd or 4th salon that I was opening in Florida. And I know for every city, they have different codes, they have different requirements and criteria that you have to fit in on. So I went into the city 3 times before signing. I'm sorry, I have a call from you. And I don't know how to turn it off.
You lost sound.
I got a call.
Mm.
Did you get a call, Shaz?
Was I was what happened?
We can hear you. It's just a little choppy.
That
I think it's
should I?
I think it's good now. Go ahead, try now.
Okay. Yeah. I would say 3 times by the least. Okay. I started before. I just started because this.
You may need to shift to another room to get clarity, because you're choppy. You're not getting access to the Wi-Fi.
Is this better?
Yes.
Okay, so I go on the city practice this. And I will the place I've been Jewish for 8 years, and I don't know what type of travel agency it was still being. And I had a lot of this one video is gonna speak about
Still getting out of choppiness. You walked out of a good zone that you were in.
Yeah, you may
So
have to...
let me come off and come on, okay?
Okay.
Now you're good.
All right. Hey, while she's doing that, Chairman, you up in Detroit. Are they messing with our people when they try to open up businesses? What's going on up there?
Well, personally, I've never had a business, so I really couldn't tell you on that. I know they've got certain areas that are predominantly black, like the Avenue of Fashion, and it's been in operation for at least 50 years. It's almost like you call the Black Wall Street of Detroit, where, it's predominantly black owned and operated. But other than that, sporadically they're all over Detroit, but not such a stronghold as the Avenue of Fashion. That's all I could tell you on that note.
Okay. All right. So Andre Jr., we have hundreds of people coming into the tribe, and some of them are going to have business ideas to integrate into our tribal construct. What's your recommendation to these folks?
Good question in relation to what we heard on the video with that sister. And when I was listening, I heard a couple of things that were distinctive to me. From a business perspective, that told me why what happened. So first thing is, she said she was leasing that building. First things first. So, typically we talked about this before, in most areas where, you have commercial property and plazas, those are areas where a bunch of Caucasian people, during white flight, bought up all of that property in the area, and they still own it, right? And they have particular practices. We've got some partners here in Tampa who dealt with it right over here in Ybor City. And when you buy commercial space, or at least when you lease commercial space, the deal is bad. It's always bad.
Mhm.
It's always a bad deal. You're talking very high rent for one. And if you put any money into the renovation of that building, you don't get that money back.
Mhm.
Anything you paint, anything you fix, anything you renovate, you have now fixed that property for that leaseor, the person that owns that property. And the terms are typically let's say unfavorable for the leasee, right? I got our partner, he's a CPA out of New York. He know how to handle money. I think he put about $200,000 into a building. Eventually got to the point to where they just didn't want him there anymore, and they start enforcing certain aspects of the lease and kicked him out of there. He lost $200,000 in that building. That's going to happen. We've seen that happen with a lot of my, people who are business owners go in and try to get that commercial lease. It's always a bad deal. You'd be much better off building commercial space from scratch, because you're still gonna put some big money into it, regardless. But you'd be better off on a pathway to ownership of that property. So in that case, when you're on the pathway to ownership of that property, because a lease says you just renting, and if it ain't a lease to own contract, then you're going to lose that money, month to month. I mean, commercial space, they leasing that money for, $2,500 to $5,000, sometimes $10,000 a month, depending on your business plan and what kind of pro forma you presented to them for you to be able to lease that property. So, long story short, typically that's a bad deal. You'd be better off wanting to build your commercial space from the ground up and be on the path to owning that property. So then you can do what Mama Callie was saying. Since you're on a process to owning that property, you can then declare the property as indigenous. Now, now you got several layers of control, not only from a commercial aspect, but also from a political aspect as well. There's a whole lot more you can do with that. Now, I understand a lot of business owners want to buy, or let's say lease property in location. That's mainly probably why she leased that property where it is, based on the location. But at this point, all our people, which we saw, that's who was supporting her business. We'd be willing to travel. We'd be willing to come to wherever we at to support what we got going on. Yeah, don't be scared of, let's say, having your business in a location you may not think is going to be suitable for the traffic and the clientele. Trust me, we'll come out there and support it, especially with the current political climate. We'll come support our people. Now, the second thing I heard was, the people started gathering, and let's be honest, who they talking about? They're talking about our people. We saw it, and what were we doing? We were playing music. We were being festive. Family, that has always been a problem for them. That's always been a problem because there's a lot of power in us communing and being festive. There's a whole lot of power in that. So they've seen this since they've encountered us. They've seen how powerful our communion is since they've encountered us. So anytime they see that, it's an automatic threat to them right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
They know that's a problem for them for several reasons. For one, we build up too much positive energy for us to benefit from, for one. And they look at that as a transgression, meaning any leverage that we get, any power that they get means that they feel like they lose power. And that's true, but that's not our problem. Because us just doing us, gaining positive vibrations, that shouldn't be an issue to nobody else. But unfortunately it is. Unfortunately it is. So when we're thinking about our business models and we want to have our businesses in these particular locations, we have to think long term with that. I understand, you got the business model, especially if it's like a restaurant or so forth. You want to have it in a certain location and you want to get it up and running in a certain due time. It's a lot less, it's more timely to lease a building that's already there versus getting the financing to build your commercial space from the ground up. But you end up saving the heartache, the loss of finances and so forth when you go that route, right? All right, so I'll land that plane right there.
So, wow. So technically, you and Mama Kali, anybody that's putting together a business model, they should come to you two first to see if it is applicable of getting the land converted into indigenous, and also, help. Definitely, we will help with their business plan. But I would, are you suggesting, Mama Kali, that they go through that process first before they enter into a lease, or do they file, get a what we call a not a memorandum of understanding, a letter of intent to lease the property, then to go and explore the possibility of having it converted into indigenous land?
Oh, okay. A lot of people don't understand that where we are right now, we are at the precipice. We are at the precipice of everything being restored to us. It doesn't sound like, to our ears who don't understand, first and foremost, that we are the original people here. We are the owners of the land. So another thing that she can do is go to the courthouse and see and look at the deeds and see who owns that property.
Mhm.
Okay, and then that's the first thing you do. And you may find, if you go back in the records, which they may have, they may not, because they claim that most courthouses burned down. What was that for? To erase our identity and our land patents. Now, to you, if you are not aware of this, it may sound like it's impossible. No, it is not. You can find those records. If you go back far enough, you may even find that whoever claims they own it, they ain't been here 150 years.
Mhm.
Okay? They haven't been here. have you looked at your genealogy? How long have your people been here? Are you Lenape? Are you indigenous to that area? Yes, I'm speaking to you. Can you hear me?
If I'm indigenous, no, I don't think so. I haven't done that research.
Where did your mother, grandmother, where were they born?
Tobago and Africa.
Oh, Tobago?
And Africa.
Oh, okay. Ah, all right. Well, that makes it different. Yeah, Tobago, I thought was the Caribbean island.
Yes.
Indeed.
Are you talking about Togo?
No. Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago. But I have.
Oh, the islands. Well, see, the islands are a part of this
Indeed.
this landmass. Okay, so you are indigenous to this landmass.
Okay.
All right, you are not foreign. This is one thing that they are working on is try to, divide us by countries. Those are artificial. We didn't have anything like that,
Yeah.
Right.
and so the islands are a part of North America.
Part of
And we will be seeing, we will be seeing like changes very soon. Now, one thing is that they are going to have to give our land back. The contract is up. The contract was up a long time ago. Well, not long. The contract was up. If you remember when in his first administration, Trump actually went in front of St. John's Church, held the Bible upside down.
Yep.
Okay, and it was a boarded up church. Okay, he was signaling that that time was up. That biblical contract, okay, was finished. On that same day, Nancy Pelosi stood in front of Congress and tore the Bible up. But the minions are still actually running, they are rogue. And that is one of the reasons why we're seeing so much chaos. They are trying to hold on to power when their time is up. Pope Francis, it was Pope Francis in 2013-14, wrote a letter to Obama dismantling all corporations. Well, how could he do that? It's because the Catholic Church in Vatican created that coup d'etat and put in 1871 and put in a new quote constitution, which is a contract. Okay, and so when the Vatican says that, hey, all corporations are defunct, they're defunct. But what you see is these demons on here trying their best to hold on to power when they know that they cannot. Okay? So you're here, you're indigenous to this land, you can claim it.
Okay, that's good to know. This is great information.
So this morning, I'm wearing my family reunion T-shirt, Hill Davis. And within our tribal collective, if your last name is Hill or Davis, that's just one of the many names that we can start tracing the military camp where your ancestors were, and identify, from whence you cometh and what landmass you was working on here in the Americas. So there are different ways of determining that, even with your last name. So on that, let's go back to, we want to stick with why you don't need to go into business Hey, Shaz, what were you were saying before you?
Okay, so I had gone to the city 3 times or 2 times before signing the lease for this place that I was gonna turn into my salon. And then when I realized that this I'm gonna be like 40,000 in, I needed to extend that lease from 5 years. I wanted like 10 years. So I went back to the city again, and they're like, yeah, everything is fine. All you need is your professional license, your state professional license, and of course the occupational license from the city. I'm like, okay, cool. So I go and extend the lease. Then now it's time to do the plumbing, and I have to now deal with the county. And they tell me, oh, you can't put a wet business there. We have a moratorium that's been going on in Dade County since Hurricane Andrew. So no new wet businesses could be built. You can do schools, nursing homes, restaurants, beauty salons, nothing that required water. And I'm like, what? I mean, I literally cried. I cried in anger only because they had like bulletproof glass and I couldn't punch the lady right through there because I'm thinking, you're making this decision on your $5 hour job. This is my legacy. And I sat right in the rotunda and cried because I had to get it out. And it really affected me physiologically as well because I broke out in hives everywhere trying to figure this out. I spoke to my landlord, who, by the way, was Chinese Trinidadian. And he was willing to let me off the lease, but that wasn't going to give me back my money. So what I did is for this, I had people to come in at night, to promise to come in at night, do what I need to get done. I sent out notices to my clients to know, hey, when you come here, just stand close to the door because I then have the blinds down. I'm not opening up. Stand close to the door so I can see your shoes. Okay. Some of them need to go around to the back door. We had a knock code. And I worked under that condition for 16 months. And I would see the city inspector come by there. He had polio. I could see his shoes by the door. He was always knocking on the door and we never opened. It was just like, shh, until he left. I had to find a way to be creative to get my money back. Okay, so that worked 16 months and I was up. Now, I had another situation just recently coming out of retirement for the 3rd time and opening up a salon at a resort. And it's the only hotel in that entire city of Lauderhill, right? And they had, the space was there. It was already built out for a salon. I just had to put my stuff in there. And that was going well. Oh, we had a big grand opening. The city knows we're there. We've been there. Then December 10th of last year, the city came in and shut all the retail businesses down in the hotel. The hotel was not in compliance. Okay, and so I'm deep into that. But then just took it as an indication that I need to pivot because I wasn't about to get too stressed out on that situation. And since we do not own the buildings, like you said, commercial property, we don't own it, anything could happen. But you can own that property as well, and it's still not zoned for what you want to zone it for. But in the case like where you just recommended that we claim it to be indigenous, then that probably might make a whole lot of difference. So that's interesting.
So once again, folks, I tell people that, and I tell people with knowing, I have 67 years of business experience and writing business plans and running businesses, and I'm telling you, it's a bad investment to invest in anything that these invaders land that they claim on paper is theirs. It's a bad investment. You're gonna lose your money. You come to UAR, we will work with you. I will lend now. Let me tell you up front, my billable hours in relation to the Caucasoids and their CEOs is $1,000 an hour. But for all tribal people, my advice is not free, but I'm lending it to you as long as you're a part of this tribal movement. We will assist you in a business plan to get your products and service as long as they are natural products and service, they are biodegradable and non-toxic. That's our brain. We will get it to market for you all over the planet. So stop investing, get out of the ego mode. I got to prove that I don't need this corporate job, this good government job, and invest into something that's going to fail. Stop doing it. It's not going to work in this paradigm shift. So moving right along, I made another statement. We getting ready. The chairman went on and saw that movie. I tried to save everybody money on that disclosure movie. I told you, chairman. But before we go there, I was watching the Obama celebration with the library, and I heard a trigger. And I thought it was Bruce Springsteen, but it was Bono. That they all kind of look alike to me. And he said that there are still people that don't want to give up this land, and they are willing to fight and die for it, which they will. But not by our hands, by the guardians of the Most High. You will die. You continue to hold on to this madness, you will perish immediately. So, but he said something to that effect, and that was a warning to other invaders that you're going to have to give it up. The laws of karma is going to enforce that, and we have the codes at UAAR Nation. Mama Kali, Mama Lababa, Chief Betty, Shaz, Beverly, all we have those codes, and we know how to empower all of the people of our nation to understand how we're going to use DI over AI, divine intelligence over artificial intelligence. Listen to this. The divine intelligence created everything that exists on the physical plane, including artificial intelligence. So do you want to tap into the lower frequency or the higher frequency? Hey, Chairman, the movie was a letdown. We were expecting. What's your take on that disclosure there?
Like you say, it really was a letdown. It had some interesting moments where they did show you that there was access to extraterrestrials. They showed you some footage, some old vintage footage of 5 bodies that were stored. They showed you some video of a crash landing where the military came in and were getting the bodies and the craft, because they always want the crafts to reverse engineer the technology. Now they had some characters in the movie that were supposed to have powers, but the one power, it was a magic wand where it causes the one guy that was really a head of some organization to be able to remote view people and situations. That was sort of interesting, but the movie said it was a fiction, and I was looking more for a nonfiction. I wanted more realness, where they did have realness in the movie. It was kind of boring. I'd say 50% that I wish I could have just was doing something else. But it did give me, that sense that they are trying to expose us, those of us that don't know extraterrestrials have been here and are coming back to the planet, because there's still a lot of people that don't believe it, but it's true. But they're trying to give Trump credit for disclosure, where we've known about disclosure years, so long ago, it's pathetic, So I don't know, maybe they're trying to gear us up for something else that's going to really happen, because like I said, there's supposed to be something coming really soon, that the sky is supposed to be full of extra space vehicles, and that they're going to just hoover out there and let us know that they're there and they're come in power, and that we've got to come together and do some type of negotiating. And it's going to have to be not on the United States terms, because they're showing you they have the power. We're trying to get there, so yeah, I watched the movie twice. picked up a little bit more on it the second time, but like I say, it was just, it could have been done better, I feel.
Well, Chairman, that's motivation for you to get your movie going. And
Absolutely,
Chaz here is a casting director. She knows how to help you get that movie going. And we got some other things on the horizon. Indigenous Aboriginal people is coming to pass, is coming into fruition. And but it requires, and the chairman says this over and over again, and I'm going to say this: these invaders will continue their program until the wheels come off of it. And we're going into the segment, and Mama Khalid is going to speak on this. I ran across a video on the internet. As a matter of fact, Chaz sent it to me about these guys that wear the black hats with the braids coming down. Yeah, and man, they got the best con game going. Collective. They're having 14 and 15 children, and they apply for the welfare system, and how they got it set up, you wouldn't know it. They camouflage. They're getting money for making them caucasoid bodies. Why? Because caucasoid bodies are designed to serve Lucifer strictly. And that's why they cute. So they got a program going up in the northern somewhere, where they get food stamps, they get housing. And when the guy go to this video, it's KIRYAS Joel Village, JOEL Village. Just go watch that guy's video. He is exposing the con game, and then they make it seem like, well, when melanated people are taking on these systems, we're taking advantage of it. We're lazy. We're trifling. Them bastards living off of it and create more babies and getting these benefits, these welfare benefits, and they have grocery stores in their community where 100% of the exchange currency is food stamp money. It's serious. So but hey, let's not be mad with them. That is a collective effort.
Yes.
It's evil and it's satanic. They got power because all of them on the same page. They say, we're going to do it like this, and they manage it. And so all we have to do as Aboriginals, as the original humans on this planet, we can come together as a collective, get one brand that we're behind. And that brand is United Aboriginal American Republic. That's a collective order. It's identifying us, and the Republic is our own government. We don't need to give them bastards another nickel to go to that Ben nothing to blow up these children because he don't want to go to prison. We don't need to be giving money to this kind of madness. All of our money should be circulated back into our tribe for our children. We can do the same thing. Them what do they call them?
Is that the Anunnaki Jews?
Ashkenazi,
Yes,
but
Ashkenazi.
they're Khazars from Kazakhstan in Central Asia, just below Russia.
Yeah.
They're Khazars or Kazakhstan, but they out of when they migrated to Germany, they became Ashkenazi, Nazi. They are the real Nazis.
Hold on, we got a video. Go ahead, man.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry to interrupt. I think I interrupted.
No problem.
No, you're all right.
You're good.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part living in the village is living with all of my children here, playing very nice, peaceful with everyone, trying to be in peace.
Safe, very safe, safest community in the USA. And no crime, no drugs. People that are helping each other in every way.
Kelly, you say you can't see it?
No, oh, okay. I changed my screen. I'm not familiar with this phone thing. Okay, I can see it.
And people are very nice, like brothers.
Average day, waking up to going to pray, and we're learning before prayer we're learning, and then most of us going to work. Some are learning Torah the whole day as a practice, but some not learning Torah the whole day, and after work and after eating and being with the family we learn again and we pray again. It's 3 times a day we pray. I'm not asking them to be like us. I'm not asking us to be like them. It's a different world, you know. We're religious, and in the United States, everyone can be like he wanna be. That's why it's a good country.
So you out of your tax money, you're paying for them, their own welfare. You ask them, where you go, where you work at? I work at, I do this, I work at the day. No, they're going into these synagogues and they are studying some BS all day long. That's work, and they're getting paid through our tax dollars. And they got certain products with a U on it, was a U and
Kosher.
And the residual from those products go to support them. So we're gonna probably post that in a later date. But listen, don't get mad with them. Get even.
Exactly.
Come together under one name. Stop the ego. My tribe is going to be the tribe that's going to lead us out of that's just, you know, we got the formula. You're not gonna access the formula with an ego. You're not gonna access the formula with a religion. None of that low frequency crap. You're gonna access it through divine intelligence. We have the formula. Mama Kali has the formula. Sister Chaz has the formula. Everybody on this panel, my son, the chairman, we know how to access that power to protect your tribe. But we got to unite all these tribes. When I reach out to different tribes, I see how the Catholic Church conquered us because we got these damn egos and listen. These demons are not going to stop until we demonstrate. The Most High, the divine intelligence, is not going to intervene until we demonstrate we're coming together. That's where we are. But let us go on. Mama Kali, the mental illness. I had a particular segment that says integrating into tribal life. And there's a lot of mental illness, you know, after 400 years of slavery, post-traumatic slave syndrome. Mama Kali, I know we ain't ready to disclose this yet. I'm gonna let you make that call. But there is some treatment that we can apply to people coming in our tribe to get rid of this to neutralize this mental illness. Is that a fact, or can we disclose that now?
Okay, what appeared on the scene, I think this is June, maybe 6 or 8 weeks ago, maybe less. Joe Rogan, who has a podcast and is very popular, not as popular as Candace Owens, though. But you know, somebody came on his podcast to tell him about a plant called, a plant extract called Ibogaine. Okay, that's Ibogaine. Well, he ran to the White House, and I suppose he went through some kind of process to get to the president. But at any rate, President Trump signed an executive order fast tracking this particular treatment called Ibogaine. Ibogaine, the synthetic of Tabernanthe iboga, that is the biological name for that, botanical name for that plant. And it has been known, or it is known, to actually heal the spirit. It's not treatment, it's not just psychedelic. It is a psychedelic, okay? But it has been used for thousands and thousands of years by the people of Gabon, West Africa. That's right at the Bight of Benin. Okay. Now, this plant actually works. I have a personal history with this plant. Back in 1988, we released, my husband was a botanist, he was an ethnobotanist. And we released a book called The Science and Romance of Selected Herbs Used in Medicine and Religious Ceremony. Okay, so that's one of the plants that we spoke about, Tabernanthe iboga. Well, there was a Jewish guy, young Jewish, I guess he was in 30s at that time. When he found out that we had written about that plant, I mean, this is 2 generations ago, 1988. And they're just finding out about it here in America. It actually does heal the spirit. When this guy read about Ando and Tabernanthe iboga, he had experienced it himself. He was a guy who was a heroin addict. He was a true heroin addict, okay? And he did a lot of street drugs. And when he took the Ibogaine, which was a synthetic that was out on the streets in New York, the next day after he came out of that, he had no desire for heroin at all. He had no desire for heroin. And so he got a hold of some more of this Ibogaine and gave it to his friends who were also addicts. And what happened was they all suddenly had no desire for the addictive drug. Now, the people of Gabon, West Africa, called the Betwi people, it is a woman's drug. It's not a drug. It helps them to access different realms. But the women will go to the water, they will carry a mirror, they will wash and then take the original pounded root of that plant, Tabernanthe iboga. And when they get into trance, they look into the mirror where the ancestors come through. Okay? And whatever their problem is, whatever they need to be resolved, what the decision they need to do, right or left, which way, the ancestors will help them. Well, they've been doing this for thousands of years. So when this New York Jewish boy came, he and his wife came to visit us in San Francisco. That's when we lived and worked in San Francisco. And they wanted to know if Ando would actually go to Gabon to get some real iboga, the real plant. Well, let me say that the guy who had was now telling everybody about ibogaine, he had actually put a patent on it. So he had patented it. Now, his wife, who was a melanated indigenous woman, she was in it with him all the way. So we met her and him. Okay, now he was working with some scientists down there at Stanford, just down the road from San Francisco, maybe about 50 miles. And, then the scientists, Stanford scientists, started coming to our office in San Francisco, trying to get us to go over there to get the original plant. Well, they never treat us right. They think we should work for them because we should. We're their slaves. Well, we told them we wasn't going unless, the terms are right. They didn't want to do the Stanford. That is so what? I mean, they got all the money in the world. Half of it anyway. But they didn't want to actually do the right thing. And so my husband went, but not on their terms, just for us. Now, it is now the biggest thing being funded by the U.S. government and Department of Health and Human Services. RFK Jr. was there at the signing of this executive order. And so they're going to spread clinics around the country for treatment. Now, I do know that there were clinics that were established in Mexico, in Puerto Rico, in Canada, but never one on the land here. And there was one also over there. I'm talking about they charged $20,000 per session. So who was that for? It was for rich folks. It was for all them boys sitting up there snorting what they call it, snorting cocaine and heroin up there, in New York and DC, because they're the biggest addicts we got here, And so they would go and they would actually be treated and maybe even stay 2 or 3 days, maybe a week, because I do understand that a couple of those treatment centers tried to mimic the ceremony of the Betwee people. Okay? And so now, 40 years later, now they want to put money behind it. What we need to do is to own it. Now, I want to know what happened to his wife. The guy's name was Lotsof. I don't want to call their names, but he and his wife visited us in San Francisco twice or 3 times. And we knew that they owned that patent. And so when he passed away, let's see, we were still in San Francisco, I believe. So that's a long time ago. I don't know what the circumstances were, but he passed away. But she told me that she still had the patent. Now, so Big Farm owns it, just like they took over cannabis. Okay, Big Pharma owns it now. And according to the report, which I send you the video, according to the report, they have made many compounds out of it. Well, when they separate a plant, it doesn't work the same way as the original plant.
Can't do it.
But I think we need to get on now. I don't think I know that we need to get on our horse and start looking to develop a treatment center. The
Absolutely.
money, it's been funded. And I know that we are the best people to conduct that.
Absolutely.
Hey, we can't send our people to Caucasoids to try to get them to heal us from the damage that they make.
They ain't gonna do it.
And they're going to take an African plant. Okay?
Well, Mama Kali, listen, folks. If you know, I almost want to have a moment of silence, but we're gonna keep it going. Mama Kali has land. We need at least $200,000 to start the infrastructure development of the land, setting up these units, these centers for growing what we need for our people. And all you got to do is go UAR. So going to UARnation.org. If you're saying, yeah, I think I need to get on this train, I'm gonna pass the ball to my son on how he process individuals, but also, man, when you talk about how people can join our collective, give us your take on integrating into tribal life. And, you know, so deal with first, what they can do if they got $5 or $20, they don't have how you work with people, and then explain from your, because this is your generation that needs to come in at this point. Because I just got a message from Shaz here in the Tampa, St. Petersburg area, 178 people were laid off from the health companies. Just here in the Tampa. So that's the beginning trend. It's going, they're doing this all over the world. They're going to leave you holding the bag because they're a Luciferian. They were created to serve Lucifer, and Lucifer always wanted to destroy the original creation, the melanated people. But hey, man, go ahead and talk about how they can get it, they can start the process, and what integrating into tribal life will be like from your perspective.
Right. So to start your nationality process, go to UAAR.org, go to the nationalization page, read the instructions, and go ahead and get started. Right. If you have, a strong desire to join the tribe and you are financially unfortunate right now, then reach out to us, through our contact page, to our email. Give us a synopsis of what's happening. We do have payment plans and so forth, right? We got many people in the tribe that went that route. All right, but our nationalization donation fee up front is $200 to $250. Right. And eventually it's going to become less because we're going to digitize everything. So it's going to be a lot less, material I have to, incorporate into the whole process. But as far as incorporating into indigenous life, it is really this simple. First and foremost, though, you don't have to assimilate or convert to any, religion or particular practices. Our people, as we still carry a lot of our own indigenous ways of life through genetic memory, for one, right? I understand a lot of people have different spiritual affinities or affiliations. And we tell everybody, listen, when you come into the tribe, we don't care what your spiritual affiliation is, just so long as you respect everybody else's in the tribe. That's it. We've got people who are Hebrew Israelites in the tribe. We got people who are Nation of Islam in the tribe. We got Moors in the tribe. We got people who practice Yoruba, Kemetic spirituality, all of the above. Hoodoo, all of that, right? And we built a culture here to where we are respectful of each other and learn from one another. That we don't have any spiritual debates or disrespect of one another in the tribe. And truth told is we've just, whatever our vibration is with the tribe, we've just attracted those type of people. We have not had well, let me say this. We have not had to mediate in a situation where two tribe members were arguing or had a dispute based on a spiritual affiliation. We haven't had to deal with that, right? But everybody's respectful. They just naturally understand. Listen, we are essentially believing and knowing of the same spiritual source. We just may view it from different perspectives, and that's fine. And that's fine. On a mundane level, though, family, you ain't got nothing else to do except join any program or project. And let me say this first, answering the question on integrating into tribal life. We have nothing left to do but to contribute to projects and programs that are about land acquisition, installing our tribal jurisdiction over that land, and building all of our infrastructure that we need there. That's it. Because at this point, with this whole show, we've been talking about how many problems we have, how much jazz we end up dealing with in proximity to other cultures and other jurisdictions that have a problem with us just being us and excelling, right? So, this is not even a new concept. I mean, Nation of Islam, the Moors, the separation to an extent, the transition of that's what integrating into tribal life is, being prepared to do that, right? A lot of people are coming into the tribe off the fringes of, they may have been in, different movements and are wanting freedom via paperwork, which I understand. Documentation to some level is important. Trust me, as a chief jurist, I know this. But but I'm still a warrior at heart, meaning I know what real leverage is when you playing chess or you fighting with, some parasites and demons. At the end of the day, they don't care nothing about that paperwork. At the end of the day, they don't care nothing about that paperwork. The only thing they really see you making any moves on is when you want to go get your own jurisdictions and begin to build your own and then cut them off of your energy because they're parasites. That's the only thing they really respond to. If you want to play the paperwork game, you're essentially saying, I want them to play the game that they instituted. That's
Right.
fine. You play it to a certain extent for the sake of transitioning. In other words, you just want to siphon everything you can out of this system that is of value so you can bring it over to your jurisdiction and build everything that you need. But you don't want to play the paperwork game to get comfortable and have a comfortable position within there. So that's done. That's nothing left of that. There's nothing. They'll chew you up and spit you out every time because they can see that coming a mile away. Right? So again, just landing this plane. Integrating into tribal life is being contributive to land acquisition, installing your jurisdiction over that land, and most importantly, building the infrastructure. Most importantly, building the infrastructure there. And so with our tribe, we have 13 ministerial departments that cover every aspect of a functioning society. So coming into the tribe, we have a skills and interest form that you got to fill out up front because we got to know what you're interested in, what your goals and aspirations, what your skill sets and talents are, so you can get in where you fit in. right? Because we're not just a club when we sending you, documents and now you're a club member on paper. That's not what we're doing, right? We have every intention on restoring everything that we lost and taking that platform and building on it from there, tangibly and spiritually. Does that answer your question on how to integrate in the
Yeah,
tribal?
man, that'll work. So we going into overtime. So Chairman, your closing statements, and you haven't said anything about 3i Atlas in a while. What's going on?
Well, they've just not mentioning it anymore, other than it's still in our solar system and it's heading into space. But they're not talking that much about it anymore, and there's probably some secrets that they'd have that they don't want us to know about too. But that's the reason why I haven't mentioned anything about 3i Atlas.
All
But it's
right,
been a great show, very informative as always.
absolutely. Mama Kali, I'm ready to start building on your land. All of you folks getting this thing about wasting your money trying to deal with the invaders' property need to come. I'm ready to. Mama Kali's project is the first on the list to be developed. So if you're interested in developing on her land, get with us. Go to our UAR. But go ahead, Mama Kali. What's your final statement?
Okay, I don't want to say too much, but I must speak. Just think if back in 1988, 1990, in the midst of the crack epidemic with our people, had we been able to get some people to support us then, where would we be now? Now, our problem, and I think we've hit on it, and you hit on it, is the fact that, we got all these ego problems going on, And then the women are, fight among each other. That's why even the matriarchy is in trouble. And I am speaking on any platform that I'm invited on about healing the matriarchy. Perhaps we, the women who come together, should be the first to actually experience this. I mean, maybe they don't have an addiction. Most of us do. Sometimes it's food, sometimes it's sex, sometimes there are all kinds of addictions. But to clear that, now I know that meditation and diet and all that stuff works. Of course it does. But there is an investment of time to make it come through. And usually it's a lot of time. Now, if we have, this is the magic potion. Is it?
Absolutely.
This is the manna. The botanical name is Tabernanthe iboga. The synthetic is ibogaine. I repeat this so that you will go and look into studying what it is. I don't know how much disinformation is out there now, but I know that there was a lot of information, out there at one time. But it's funny that just recently it has surfaced on a national, international platform. Okay, and they're ready to use it, honey. They are funding the development of clinics. Okay, we need to fund our own.
Absolutely.
Why can't we do that? Why? Because somebody wants to be a chief, or somebody wants to be the grand matriarch, or somebody's a goddess, or somebody's a queen. Hey, I'm only a mama, and I can prove it. And I'm a grandmama. Okay? I birthed from this womb. I ain't nobody else. And I ain't trying to be nobody else. But as much as I can, I will assist in our actually winning at this point. I will be there. That's my word.
Amen. That's a beautiful and powerful word. Like I said, get your business plan together. I strongly suggest we get involved with this. We can go and get started on Mama Kali's land. We have little small acres ourselves, and there are thousands of millions of acres that are ready. We have to come together and start this collective action. It's the guardians of the Most High, the divine intellect, the divine intelligence overrule all of the artificial. Listen at the word artificial. You know, don't be all caught up. We got to get in the AI because AI is the future. No, DI is the future. Divine intellect, divine intelligence is the way. And our guardians of the Most High, when we tap into them, they will intervene on our part. I promise you, I've seen it. When I was in Nashville, I saw them I'm gonna say on our behalf, blow the town away when they started doing evil things. I saw just from us as small individuals. Imagine what they would do when millions of us come together as a collective, and we have everything in place for you to do it. Go to UAAR Nation, sign up, get your status correction started. That's just the beginning of the collective order, you know. And we can start building and taking you and your children out of this demonic matrix. Hey, that's my closing statement. Hey, son, you got your closing statement, and go ahead and take us out of here.
I think everybody did a good closing statement, and we 22 past the hour, and I think it's been a good show. And so I'm gonna end it on this. We love y'all. Peace out. We'll see you next week.
Peace, everybody.